Whoa! So yeah guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Bam back at it again for another video, and today we're going to be reviewing and talking about My Hero Academia chapter 211, man. Oh man. We got some good bits on Monoma, I suppose, you know, on how, on his his persona, his mindset. It's a very interesting one. This goes back to Horikoshi's character writing, and I think Horikoshi is literally one of the best mangaka writers for character development. Going into Monoma's, who he is as a person, because when you think about Monoma's powers, right? Don't worry, we're going to talk about the dark energy Deku type stuff. Don't worry, we're going to talk about that. Think about Monoma's quirk, right? Monoma has one of those quirks that many of us would say is low-key an overpowered quirk, right? It's not extremely overpowered, but it's definitely a high-tier quirk. His quirk is the ability to demo any other person's quirk anytime he wants. Like, just from looking at this, Monoma's quirk is really dope. It's really cool. It's extremely versatile because it literally is like, hey, any quirk users around here? What? 80% of the world is quirk users? Hey, let me just ask you civilians around here, hey, what are you guys quirks? Because think about it like as Monoma being a hero, right? Say, for example, he's up against a villain that has a fire quirk and he's burning down a building. All Monoma really has to do is be like, hey, all Monoma has to do is go out to the crowd and scream at people, hey, anybody has a water producing quirk or any quirk that can manipulate fire or do something to the situation. Monoma, with his hero training and his natural understanding of how quirks function, because think about it, his quirk is the ability to copy quirks, so of course he's going to have an innate understanding of how to use quirks, especially when you take into account the time limit Monoma currently has. If we're going based on the previous time limit that we saw in the sports festival, it's about 5 minutes, right? So Monoma is an incredibly sharp person because he literally has to be. Because when he takes up a new quirk, he has to be able to use that thing on the fly and in a limited amount of time. So he has to be incredibly efficient at how he uses it and incredibly observant in how other people use their quirk. It's a quite versatile quirk, and like from just looking at it, you're just thinking like, hey, like you'll be a great hero with that quirk. But we see it from a different perspective. We see it from the perspective of kids being around Monoma, basically telling him that, hey, you don't even have your own capabilities. You're a copycat. If you go back to like chapter 1, guys, if you go back to all the way back to chapter 1 and the early chapters, Horikoshi, when he was explaining how quirks kind of function as on a societal basis, he used quirks and individuality interchangeably, right? So your quirk in many cases defines how people perceive you and also defines how your personality kind of forms. Like, for example, look at Bakugo. So the quirks in My Hero Academia has always influenced a person's personality and how people perceive him. But Monoma doesn't have that. Monoma's quirk is the ability to temporarily put on the individuality of other quirk users. In the content of society, doesn't truly have his own particular identity, right? And that's kind of dangerous when you think about it. It kind of adds to the ambiguity of Monoma's personality and his whole character. And I guess I could make a whole video just talking about Monoma now that I'm really thinking about like how interesting Monoma is. Like this is a beauty of Horikoshi's writing, man. Like how detailed it got, man. Like I can't wait till we get a chapter just going into the backstory of Sero, man, the guy that could produce a tape, or the tail guy Ojiro. Like I feel like Horikoshi can make anybody just seem super interesting and have incredible backstory. Like imagine if Sero's backstory is like, yes, both my parents got murdered by a villain and now it's my job to kill them, and the reason why I'm so laid back all the time is because my dad, just before he died, told me to be laid back and chill out. So that's what I'm gonna be. The man that tapes lives back together. Sero, the cellophane hero! Imagine. Okay, guys. Gotta turn the hat around for this one, man. And I gotta turn the AC on because it's getting kind of hot. I'm sorry, guys. So, it's time to talk about what everyone's probably talking about, right? Deku's Dark Energy Power Up! Yo, what is going on, man? Like, what is that? What is this dark energy? What is this power coming from Deku right now? Now, I have a couple ideas. about where this power is actually kind of coming from, and why it seemingly has a mind of its own compared to like what we've seen so far from One For All. I always go back, guys, like whenever I'm reading the chapters and something like this happens, I always go back to that subtle little thing that Horikoshi drew in the chapter that we got, kind of going into Deku's dreams and him interacting with the past user of One For All, the original user, and learning more about the history of One For All. Quirk singularity, guys. Quirk singularity. Quirk singularity is when a quirk throughout the generations evolves, where it becomes something different. We've seen this so far in the series in one really strong instance with Eri, with our girl Eri, who descended from a line of quirk users that had pretty decent quirks, and then Eri came out with a quirk that literally allows her to rewind people's DNA and like time itself, and everyone's like, Nani? So quirk singularity is something I think might be taking place in how One For All is functioning, because think about it. I want you guys to keep in mind that One For All, at the end of the day, is a quirk. So it functions just like how any other quirk would function, right? Not only that, One For All is a quirk that has previously been manipulated and engineered by, without really his full knowledge, All For One. Whenever All For One has a quirk and he gives it to a person, if that person has a quirk already in them, what tends to happen is not that the person has two quirks, because let's not get this twisted. You cannot have two quirks at the same time. You can have a quirk that can simulate having two quirks at the same time, such as Todoroki, but you cannot have multiple quirks at the same time unless you're All For One. So what One For All actually was the stockpiling quirk fusing with the quirk that is able to transfer to the other generations, and it became this thing. It fused. It became something totally different. Now, whenever it went to a different generation, it went through that process of fusing with another quirk user's maybe dormant quirk, or maybe a quirk that wasn't really that strong or powerful, and the person that had that quirk didn't really know how to like make it more powerful, so they were given One For All. But what if One For All, when it transitions into the next generation, was able to take that genetic code markers from that quirk and integrated it into itself, and it's only been kind of dormant until now, until it was entered into Deku's body, who maybe even Deku himself have a quirk that is so dormant that's not active yet, that when it interacted with, the acceptance of One For All, One For All fused with it and it became something different. That could explain why All Might is seeing all this happening and being like, Deku, I think you read the instructions wrong, because that's not how I used that power back in my day, boy. That's not how I used it. But again, that's one theory, right? Another theory can be that, let's say there's one thing that we know currently in the series that it seems like Deku has confronted, that All Might hasn't confronted, and that's a mind control user. Now, it's quite possible in All Might's long career as being a hero. Hold up. So All Might, in his long career of being a hero, might have never met or interacted with a mind control user, but Deku has, through Shinso, right? And this is the first instance we've realized in the series where Deku unlocks, I guess, an ability that shows the vestiges, the previous users of One For All, that actually helped activate the quirk for him. Bro! Whoa! We're reading right now is not the first... I think I just dropped my laptop. Guys, what we're reading right now in chapter 211 is not the first time Deku's quirk was overridden or taken control of. It was not the first time Deku's quirk acted on his own. The first time was up against Shinso. Shinso might be that X factor that actually activated this innate ability in One For All, like activating the safeguard of like allowing the vestiges to actually wake up. This might have been actually the first time a One For All user has ever been mind controlled, and which activated or woken up the previous users of One For All. Like whatever essence or energy that's left over from those previous individuals. Because when you think about it, guys, I'm sorry, I'm brainstorming right now. Because guys, when you think about it, right? One For All is a stockpiling quirk, right? What does it stockpile? Physical power? Is it just physical power? No, it's not. Because when we see Deku actually being able to look through the memories of the original holder of One For All, we know that One For All doesn't just stockpile physical power, it stockpiles information, knowledge, data, meaning that it's quite possible that I don't think it's the actual person, the actual vestiges, like the actual people. I think it could possibly be a copy of the actual people's knowledge and information and who they were is stored within One For All itself. So what we're seeing as Deku's quirk going crazy out of control, it could potentially be one or multiple of the vestiges taking control of Deku in that instance for some reason. I know there's some theories out there that's saying that All For One is somehow controlling Deku in this case, which I kind of don't believe. You know, the energy itself is black and dark and does give off that All For One vibes, but there's something about it that doesn't feel like, I feel like All For One has some kind of inkling that One For All is acting up, because we did see that portion in the chapter before where we saw All For One in the I'm about to say hospital, in the prison, actually hearing something related to One For All and his brother and stuff. But I don't know, guys. It's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy thinking about this development. And guys, there might also even be, because when you think about what body part is actually acting up, is Deku's arm, right? And we know Deku's arm, if I remember the chapter correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but in the chapter where we see Deku, like, you know, talking to, you know, kind of interacting in some basic way with the previous user, the original founder of One For All, he touches his hand, and I believe in this chapter that's the exact same hand that has this overflowing dark energy coming out of it. Yeah, man. Bro, when Studio Bones actually sits down to animate this, oh Lord, help my eyes, bro, help my eyes. But anyway, guys, that is all I really have to say about this chapter. Not sure what Ochako's really going to do in this in the next chapter. I think it's coming out in January. Oh man, man, we had to wait like 2 weeks or something. Oh jeez. But also another thing, this chapter was kind of short, and it's been kind of short. These chapters have been coming out for the past couple months or so, have been kind of short. So I'm kind of worried about Horikoshi a little bit. Before, I would hear people getting like worried about him and like stuff, but I'm a huge Horikoshi fanboy. Like the series he created, and I even checked out a little bit of the other series he's created before that never really took off or flew. Horikoshi, I'm a big Horikoshi fanboy. So I believe Horikoshi, like I want Horikoshi to be doing well. So like Horikoshi, bro, if you need to take like a serious break, like a month break, like I know I'm just like some random guy on the internet, but if you really need to take a serious break from a true and honest fanboy that loves hero stuff, and loves what you created with My Hero Academia, please, for the love of God, take a break. Don't be taking no break like Hunter x Hunter, though. Don't be taking a break like Hunter x Hunter, bro. Don't do breaks like that. But if you need like a month off, Horikoshi, take it. If you need a month off to just rest and recuperate, please take it, man. Please take it. And I hope it's not a financial thing, because I'm just generally assuming, since your series is doing so well, that you're kind of at a comfortable space in terms of your financial situation. That's what I'm assuming, since My Academia is doing so well. But please, Horikoshi, please, like the fan base overall, we prefer quality over rushed work. So if you need time to just rest, man. Or just let us know if like 13 pages or 14 pages is the norm now. You know, if that's just the norm based on how you want to do the story, just let us know. And I have I have absolutely no idea if you ever get the chance to watch this video or whatever, but just know that I'm a real fan of yours, and I hope you're doing well, and just take the rest you need, man. But anyway, my filmmaker characters, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching it. Like this video if it made you smile, comment this video made you think, and subscribe when to see more. And always remember that you are the main character of your own story, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.